skill, Tabitha.
That's a lot of fans.
How's everybody doing?
Fine.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so let's get started. Yeah. Tabitha, what shows did you watch as a kid?
We didn't really have TV. We listened to a lot of radio. I grew up in southern Africa, in Swaziland, a little tiny country, and everybody listened to radio programs most of the time, so that's why I kind of love voice work, and I also learn best orally, and is this really loud? Because I sound really loud to me, I sound like but when we came to North America, the first cartoon I think I ever saw was called Aqua Boy or Aquaman, the Japanimation thing. And I had a huge crush on Aqua Boy. He swam with dolphins and stuff. He was awesome.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
If you could voice a character from any show, movie, or game ever made, which character would it be?
One already made. Oh dear. Then that would be somebody else's role that they've already occupied. And that's a little weird for me. It's kind of like having somebody else's baby stealing it. Make off with somebody else's baby. Just adopted it. I don't know. It hasn't been made yet. And when it has been made and I'm in it, that'll be the one I want.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your family.
My family?
Yeah.
I'm an adopted kid, so my family was a group of people that didn't look anything like one another and didn't speak anything like one another, and we all went to different boarding schools and didn't really know each other that well, my brothers and sisters. But my adopted mother was English and a bit batty, bit of a nutcase. And my dad was a university professor, and he loved Africa, and he wore appalling hats. And he was quite famous for his appalling hats in Swaziland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've been working as a voice actor for many years, but how did you get started? You went from musicals to voicing kids shows?
Yeah, well, I think I must have said it way too many times by now, but the very first show that I did was called Ewoks. It was a spin-off of the Star Wars. And I got sent to that audition because I had on my resume that I spoke Zulu. And the language in the movie that the Ewoks spoke was an aggregate of Mandarin and Zulu and some other things, which we never used. We just spoke nonsense words like yum yum. So, but that was how I got my first cartoon. And then there didn't seem to be too many out there before that. And then suddenly there were tons and tons, and that's what I was doing.
Okay. Of all the characters you have ever voiced, which one is your all-time favorite?
I really like so many of them, but I adore the writing in a show called Martha Speaks, which is just it's a little kids show, but it was just very, very well written and very satisfying to do. And I don't know, I like all kinds of different ones. I don't really have a favorite.
Top 5?
Top 5? What do we think? I said Martha Speaks. I like Heloise and Jimmy Two Shoes quite a bit. I've been very attached to various anime characters at the time, but I don't remember the name of the shows afterwards. For example, I once played a pencil. And I loved being a pencil. But when it was over, the pencil was put back in a drawer.
Okay, pencil.
Yeah. I made a fine pencil.
Well, how is it to do pencil or voice acting as a living? How does a normal day look for you?
There's no real norm. You know, I mean, I'm sure Annalise told you that dubbing is very, very different than doing something that hasn't been animated yet. A typical day for me will be getting up at 3:30, meditating, and then going back to bed for an hour, and then driving into the city, maybe do a few auditions, drive around. Sometimes it's commercials, not very often, more often it's cartoons. And then go and sometimes you're by yourself. If you do dubbing, it's usually by yourself in a little room with more often than not, a really grutty carpet. And it's very unglamorous indeed. Smelly headphones that need to be washed. Or you go to and you work with a big group such as My Little Pony, and we laugh quite a bit through those sessions. We know each other very well. We know each other's shorthands and sticks, and so that's quite fun. Not very time consuming. On average, an episode of My Little Pony will take 2 hours to record. Then, if you're so minded, you can go to the beach, or you can pick your nose, or you can write a book.
Do you have any good memories of the pony making, the show making? What's your favorite memory about this?
Well, it's very quotidien, it's very daily thing for us. There's not really massive highs. It gets quite funny when all the guys come in, because it's a very different dynamic when all the men folk are there, because normally we just do the work. We hand each other our hand cream to put on, check out each other's lip balm. It's dull. I mean, it's not dull. It's just it's very simple. Because you don't have to fly in on a trapeze, you don't put on makeup, there's no tap numbers to learn. You're just standing in front of a microphone. So you can rest, and then speak, and then rest, and then speak, and then rest.
Is it hard doing the voice acting, like resting, and then suddenly you have to be tractor like that?
I think it's fun. I quite like that. I like to go from 0 to 20.
Does it take many takes doing a line?
No, I mean, sometimes you get peculiar words or terms that you don't recognize or stuff like that, or speeches that are especially fast, like a lot of Pinkie Pie speeches. But no, it's fun. I like those the best, actually. They're sort of it's like the difference between being on a jogging track and running through the woods. It's just that much more interesting and engaging.
And the songs are amazing. Do you have one that's stuck in your head, or a favorite of all the pony songs?
I like Bab Seed a lot.
Me too, I love that one.
Yeah.
Do you get loads of fan mail every day?
Not every day. I go into my agency sometimes once every 3 weeks to, pick up checks and say hi and that kind of thing. And then sometimes I'll get a pile of fan stuff and things that people send, including, there's been one person who's been sending us all health tips. I don't know if he thinks that we're ill, but it's possible. Think about the Atkins diet and how to lose weight, and you eat a lot of meat.
Do you have something really cute that they have sent you? What's the best thing you've ever got in the mail?
In the mail? Oh my goodness.
Or just given to you by a fan?
Well, really sweet voice and like a plate. It was like a friendship plate, and I got it very, very late. It was over the Christmas season, and I got in, and he'd also sent like a cake, a bunch of cakes, and every letter, every words for Merry Christmas were spelt out in cakes, and they were rock hard when I got there. But it was so sweet. I was very, very touched by it.
And do you have any tips for people who want to become a voice actor like you and get stone hard cakes?
Stone hard cakes? Oh, you're missing the stone hard cakes if you don't become a voice actor. Yeah, everybody asks this question, and I would say the main thing is to just start. I mean, it's human nature to, wait till you get the right equipment, the right recorder, the right microphone. But everybody's phone and everybody's computer can record things now, and it's not difficult. So don't let yourself have, if you really want to do it, don't let yourself have those excuses. And put your material out free on YouTube, like Ali Monty and Black Griffin originally did, and they're seen. It's been their way in. It's sort of a new way that things are. Everybody knows this, but I would say also take classes, because any road that you haven't been down, it's always, even if it's not the right methodology or the thing you'll end up with, it's good to have some kind of protocol, some one simple step that you can put in front of the other and do. And don't expect that you're going to do it overnight, or that somebody can give it to you or get it for you, because no one can take your life degree for you, your university for you, and you would hate them if they did eventually, because it's a process and it's your whole life. And I would also say, chase all the things that interest you, not merely the voice work, because there's nothing worse in the world than a boring actor, and a tedious actor that can only talk about, me. Know some things, read some things, and diversify, and those some things I would say. And collect voices that you hear and phrases that you hear, and hoard them like spikes, diamonds. Yeah.
How did you get recruited for My Little Pony?
Well, I've been in several generations before of it, but they did say when these auditions came around, they said, we don't want to see or don't want to hear anything we've heard from you before. So I had done a character quite like Fluttershy, called Wisteria, and I had done a character quite like Pinkie Pie called Minty, and so they said, don't do those. So, and then also Pinkie Pie had to sing, and I was like, oh, that singing is hard, dang, not gonna do that. So the character of Rarity came up, and it was the one that they were the most concerned about, because they couldn't find something that sounded both sort of sophisticated but also young. And even though I'm not technically young, the blessed thing about doing voice work is that nobody needs to know that you're a hell hag sitting in a dark room. Exactly. So yeah, so it was a lovely thing to be able to do that. And then just the great blessing of this show is that we were in the room and they just allowed us to try and do other characters and play around, and we got away with it 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 more times.
What was the first thing Rarity ever said?
The first thing Rarity ever said? I have no idea. What's her first line? Does anybody know her first line of dialogue?
Google it.
What?
Google it. Go on Google.
No.
I didn't hear that.
I think it was something with ribbons.
Ribbons.
Yeah, or
Buttons and ribbons and...
No.
No.
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
No. Like that?
No.
No.
more sequence.
Yeah, more sequence.
Always needs more sequence.
Yes, always.
So I heard you're quite into flowers and gardening.
Yes. Love flowers.
Me too. I work as a gardener this summer. What's your favorite flower?
Peonies.
Oh, those beautiful.
Big fluffy peonies. Yes.
Is there some sort of them? There are many.
There are many. Well, yeah, I don't know all the varieties' names, but the bigger, the fluffier, the pinker, the better.
Yeah, same. Do you have any in your garden?
I do, but sadly peonies don't last very long. They have a sort of, and that's kind of one of the things that makes them so beautiful, is they're so temporary. You have about 2-week flowering, and sometimes you get a second flowering. Any other gardeners here, or are we just talking to ourselves? Yeah. Peonies, poppies, flowers and stuff.
What did you first think when you heard grown men and women were watching My Little Pony?
Was very surprised. I was very surprised. The first time somebody came up to me was actually another actress this was actually before this generation, in the previous generation. Another actress in my agency had a grown-up teenage son. He was strapping tall, 6 foot something. He was 17 or 18 years old, and who came in and was like, "I love My Little Pony," and I was deeply shocked. I was like, "Really? Do you know who you are?" And but it was a very comforting show, and a lot of children, received, babysitting from the earlier generations when it was a soft show, and I think that we programmed many generations to come to like the generations to come. It's a little insidious. Don't think about that deeply. Next.
You watch the show yourself?
Do I watch the show?
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit of a busman's holiday to watch yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's
Are you bothered by your own voice acting like?
I'm bored senseless by listening to myself. But I like to listen to other people's work. But if I'm going to watch animation, I tend to want to watch a movie rather than TV stuff. Yeah.
Do you prefer animated or live action movies?
It's such a betrayal to say it. I prefer live action. I prefer kung fu. I prefer science fiction. If there are spaceships and people kicking each other, I'll be there.
So like Star Wars and stuff?
Yeah.
And Ewoks.
Yes.
Which one of all the ponies you make feels the most like you?
The most like me? I'm kind of a hybrid to Twilight, Sakura, Fluttershy. I'm very booky. I'm a bit of a hippy-dippy, woodsy, hug a tree, start spouting weird rhymes that nobody really understands, but they humor you. And also a little bit of a hermit. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But it's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly how many? Do you know exactly how many characters you have ever made?
Not a clue. No.
Like 100 or less or more?
I'm sure it's much more.
300?
Yeah, I'm sure it's much more.
Okay.
I've been at it for a while. I'm old.
Do you still do musicals?
No, I don't. I don't do any stage work anymore. There came a point where I just it's very different in Vancouver. In Toronto, the theatre scene is very vibrant and very new and avant-garde, and but where I live, it's a bit more kind of stuff that's been done and tried, and I got a bit bored by it. So I let it go. But I'm very interested in writing now, that sort of stuff more.
So you would like to write a play or a musical?
I write constantly. Yeah.
What's the best you've written?
The best that I've written?
Yeah, what do you like?
It's yet to come. Right now I'm writing a film. I'm also writing with my friend Ellie Ray Hennessy, who I've talked about to a lot of people, and some of you follow on Twitter. She's a brilliant acting teacher. And she said, I've got this student who's written a pilot, and I was like, I'm not reading it. And I read it, and I was just so amazed by it. And so I've been working with this 19-year-old boy named Ryan, writing his anime series with him. So I'm doing that right now. It's fun.
Are you going to voice in it?
I don't know. I don't even know where it will go, but it's certainly fun, and it's not things that I would have thought of initially, because I'm not his age. So his vocabulary is primarily having seen anime and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, would you prefer tea or coffee? Are you more tea person or coffee person?
I prefer herbal tea. I like 1 cup of coffee a day. 1. It's really more liquid optimism than it is coffee. Just a little something to throw on your glands. But yeah, I don't drink very much of either.
No.
No.
Are you more of a cat person or a dog person?
Yes.
Yeah, lots of cats and dogs, crazy cat lady.
I had a dog. Her name was Kitty. Because she was taking over for a cat when I got her, and she was very cat-like. And now I have 2 cats that are both very dog-like, and they go for walks with me. They come to the swimming pool with me and sit under my chair. They wait. Come with me home. It's very cute.
Are you more I like the book more than the movie, or is the movie always better than the book?
I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. Some books are just amazing, but it's such a different experience. It's comparing apples and oranges, Some books are they just eat your head. And yeah, and that's a really terrible answer. Next.
Well, I'm going to pay blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. What's your favorite book series or book?
My favorite book? I don't have a favorite. I have many that I love. Currently, I'm really into Louise Erdrich, who wrote a book called The Master Butcher's Singing Club, which is awesome. And I really love science fiction. I love Alistair Reynolds and Ian Banks, and I love, I didn't write the books, but thank you. I like to take credit for other people's work. Harry Potter. Thank you. Yeah. Dune was an amazing series of books.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do that? That's a good one. Yeah.
Do you like doing movie marathons, just sitting at home with your cat dogs and watching lots of movies or series?
I have done. I think there's a balance to be had, because it can be really hard on your body to do nothing but watch movie marathons. But I did have a period of time when I lived way out in the middle of nowhere, and I think I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer from the end to the beginning, just hundreds of times. I pretty much, I can almost speak it word for word.
Could you do a line from it in a pony voice?
A line from it in a pony voice?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm sorry.
I've hung myself. Just think of a specific thing, and then it's too much pressure. I'll get back to you.
Okay. Well, actually, we don't have any more questions here, but do you people have any questions?
Oh, I do.
And do we have a microphone to go around?
Do we? Yay!
Yay! So was it?
Miss Finnish over there.
I said finish!
My question is, why don't you do the singing Voice of Rarity?
Why don't I do the singing voice? I don't know. It just wasn't on the table when we started things. It would do the song auditions and the character auditions were separate, and some of them coincided and some of them didn't. Yeah?
I know this is a long shot, but could you have anything to give us spoilers about this?
The one thing that I will say about season 5, I don't even know if I can say it. Well, I'm going to say it. It's nothing at all like any other season. Nothing.
In a good way.
In a what? It's about hippopotami. Yeah.
Hello. You've also done the voice of Princess Luna. How did you get that role, and how have you liked the way that she has moved on in the series to become a regular character?
Well, she was right in the first episodes, actually. And at the very beginning, they were looking at getting a celebrity to do it. And I don't know if I'm confusing this with Martha Speaks, but I think that I did a scratch track for it, which means I just laid down something that they could, just put in until they found the right person, and then just let me have it. Which is what happened with Martha Speaks. It was offered to Ellen DeGeneres, and God bless her, she said no. So I might be confusing that, but I think that's what happened. I think I just did a scratch track, and then they said, do it. And it's great that I didn't know where it was going to go, and it's great that she became a regular. It's nice to see her back again. Yeah.
This is actually a question for a friend of mine. I couldn't be here today, but he is wondering, has it ever happened in ordinary life outside of the studio that you've been recognized? Let's say, for example, when you've been grocery shopping or something. So, do you have any stories you want to share with us?
No, how would they know what, unless there's somebody in the room, how would they know what we look like? We're not live action characters. And I tend to hide anyway. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Kevin, has that ever happened? No. He's like, no, nobody knows who you are. Yeah, guys over here. We should get some people in the back too.
All right. In all of our time as a voice actress in all of movies and cartoon shows, which is the most favorited line you've ever done in character?
Line that I've ever done. Oof.
In any character, your most personal favorite line, more precise.
Oh my goodness. I don't really remember. There's so many lines under the bridge, if you know what I mean. But you know what? That pencil. Dang, that was a good pencil. No idea what that series was. Awesome pencil. Sorry. Just some people at the back, do you mind? Next to Mr. Pink Suit, the waving gent. Mr. Pie.
So yeah, Tabitha, when you did the Royal Canterlot voice for Princess Luna, did you think of Brian Blessed whilst you was doing it?
I don't know who that is.
He was the guy from Flash Gordon, and he was famous for doing a very loud voice, like, Gordon's alive!
No, I actually was sort of in the back of my mind. I had the original Maleficent stuck in my head. I shouldn't say that because it's the whole wrong studio. Can we erase that?
Yeah, I've got a request for a friend of mine who lives in Scotland, and unfortunately she couldn't attend. Could you say hi to her from Finland?
Hello from Finland, you in Scotland. How are you doing? Anyway, private joke, nothing. Next. You. Oh, sorry, love. Sorry. Did I say, is that a line? Is that a show line? Is that a Luna or a Nightmare Muna? It was Luna. Before she changed. There's one princess in Equestria, and that is, or will be, I have no idea, me. You guys have no taste. Yes.
Think of any of your characters who spoke in Ein Boy or whatever, and then think of a popular song who could be this character's theme song.
I'm too sexy for myself. Too sexy. That was for you, Miss Finish. Finish? Never gets old.
When you do voice acting, do you ever get stuck with a certain character's voice so that you just continue speaking with the voice after you're done with the lines?
No. Yes, we do. Sometimes the noise is fun. And really all of cartoon acting is fun with noise. So I talk to myself. Talk to myself in the car. I talk to myself in the garden. I talk to myself in the shower. It's sad. Can you project? Can you project quite loud? What are you going to say?
One question that the Christopher has asked every other guest: if you would be a Pegasus, unicorn, or earth pony, or Alacorn princess, what would you be?
An earth pony. Rarity, you know. Yeah? Mademoiselle, avec les oreilles? Yep.
You have been on all the generations of pony too, right?
Yeah.
So can you say every pony you've ever done a voice of?
No. Minty, Wisteria, thistle whistle, rarity, Luna. I don't know. Quite a few. Yeah. Anyone in the back? Let's take my lady in the back with the funny thing on her head. The antenna.
It's a horn.
I know it's a horn.
I'm just asking, can you say hello to my friend? Her name is Charlotte. She couldn't come here, what is really sad, so I just wanted to do something special to her.
What's her name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte! What's going on? Woo! Miss Pink. Yeah.
Has it been as satisfying as the movie?
Has it lived up to my imagination? Yes. I love Finland. I could totally live here. I could totally live here. If someone's got a spare room.
Fantastic. What color are your socks? Do you have good socks?
You said you live in Swaziland and listen to the radio there, and you know you're a bit of a hermit, so I think you live a bit of simple life.
Yes.
So how does it feel to like travel all over America and Europe? Going to these conventions and talking to audiences full of people who want to know about you and what you do.
It feels completely unnatural. Yeah.
What's the story behind the voice of the Derpy?
I'm afraid I'm not really allowed to talk about that character. We all know it raised a bit of an issue for people. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, there's a moose in the room, but I love the character. So. Yes, please. Yeah. Yes, I've done both. Just kind of the usual run-of-the-mill. I was in the Addams Family and this stuff that's supernatural, your basic Vancouver television kind of thing. And it's fun. I like being on camera, but I'm not really especially good at it. I'm not still enough to be really, really good at it. And it's so much waiting. So much sitting in a trailer with your makeup running down your face and you can't put your hair down because the hairspray will get squashed and it'll be a ball of hair and Leave it to Nicole. Yeah, behind you, yeah.
Okay, so the fandom is quite wide and has done many things. So has the actual pony fandom influenced your voice acting in any way? For example, through fan animations or fandom songs?
To be honest, I haven't watched or seen a lot of them, and it's just sheer time. It's just time management because you could just bad enough with kittens and puppies on the internet. You can just roll from one to the other, and then your day is gone. So I just haven't seen very many. But I'd love to meet the people here. Like one-on-one. But in terms of media, I just haven't really exposed myself to too much.
But has the fandom, seeing all of us, influenced some other way, like taking the roles more serious and thinking of the fans that are expecting an awesome voice acting from you?
No. I mean, to be quite honest, like I'd love to say yes in a way to give you that, but the work you have to do at a certain level always, or you won't do it, right? So, and that's consistent. And even, I mean, it's a funny thing when you get super excited about something and you are performing, you have to ground yourself even more. Because if you're just like, if I'm like all giddy and I love me so much, you know, I'm gonna lose the farm. Yeah.
Did Rarity say moi moi to Finnish fans?
Moi moi. Moi moi moi. I have no idea what I said. I hope it's good. Yeah, up there, next to Kev.
What will be your cutie mark if you can have one?
If I was gonna have a cutie mark, it would like be a whole body forest. Be a freaking jungle. Big vines all over the place. Yeah. Yes, please? Yeah.
I know I'm going to regret this question, but do you have a favourite episode up to date?
I love
Considering that you don't more.
I love the dog and pony show the most. Yes?
Could you do very whining for us?
No! I'm not whining! This is whining! I'm simply complaining. Ladies, do not whine. I'm a monkey. Yeah. What? Miss Light, what would you like to say?
Was there any difference between playing the pony rarity and the equestrian rarity?
The what rarity and what the hell?
Was there any difference in preparation for when you play the pony rarity and the equestrian girls rarity?
No.
Okay.
Yes?
Does Rarity have a message for us here at Crystal Fair?
I would like to thank you all for coming here to see me. It was so lovely of those others to also come to accompany me. It's so adorable. Daniel is so cute and he talks so much. With such nice sunglasses. I wish there were 5 of me so they could all talk to everyone. Oh, it's so lovely to be adored. I'll just sit right here.
Yeah? Ja. Yeah. So in Finland, do they say ja, jo, yeah? What's the yes?
Jo.
Jo. Jo. Jo.
Do you have any non-pony projects that you're involved with that you would like us to know or pay attention to, etc.? I guess besides that anime script thing.
Well, if someone could find the pencil, I'd be grateful for that. But I don't know that there's like it seems to me a very specific audience. So I don't know if everybody would like everything else. Like I do Nerds and Monsters, and that's a thing that's just been on the air, and I've enjoyed doing it immensely. But really, it's all snotty, poopy bum bum stuff. And I don't know if that'd be everyone's cup of tea. Certainly not Rarity fans. They'd be like, oh, okay. But that's a current thing, and I don't think I can really talk about anything else for a while. Preschool show called Kate and Mim Mim, which is going to start in the UK like next month. And Marika is also in it, and Brian Drummond. What can I talk about? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I can talk about. But thank you for asking. You're like a one-man agent back there.
We have time for 3 more questions.
3 more questions. You behind the balcony back there?
How do you go into character of a pencil or grading mode or something? What do you do to get in character with inanimate objects?
With inanimate objects? I just pretty much open my mouth and see what comes out. I don't really think too much. Because when you, as a cartoon performer, and it's one of the things that you really learn, you can't get too analytical, because it's not brain surgery, it's really just play. So you kind of find the bubble, you kind of find the lightness, and you keep that sort of, you don't express the giggle necessarily, but you keep the giggle rolling. So I don't really think too much about it. I just sort of see it, and you sort of feel what the weight and the whatever, little
fella like that, you don't know.
Do you have an evil laugh?
Do I have an evil laugh? You don't think the laugh I did before I was evil enough? That's a weird one. What does that say? Pencil.
High School?
What do you want? Oh, what?
This could have been the series Cromarty High School.
I think that might be it. That could be it. I'm not really sure. I have to look it up. I'll have to look it up. See if I can find it.
Lots of crazy stuff like this, and I guess the talking pencil was the last sane one.
The last sane one?
The most sane one.
Oh. I'll have to look it up because I'm not sure. There may be other pencils, but they must die. Yes?
How much did you enjoy doing the voice of Delilah and Mrs. Patchwork? Like any questions quite like doing answers?
Yeah, I do. Well, she's good, right? Because she's like all bored and like, oh, who cares, whatever. So, yeah, I like her quite a bit. And then, you know, she's got all the gents staring after her and everything, and it's right interesting and everything, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Just 2 lines from the show. If you want to say it's it is Luna's huzzah, the fun has been doubled. And Rarity's, that's the worst possible thing.
I like yours. However, that was the worst possible thing! C'est quoi ça? Pencil, it's Cromarty High School. I have a look letter. And next... I just amused my own self. You.
Yeah, so you've done a pencil and a gravy boat and whatever. Is that something you like to do? I mean, are you like, ooh, do me, dips on the gravy boat. I want to be the gravy boat.
I live to be a gravy boat.
Thank you. It's been a true honor to have you here today.
Thank you. Thanks for indulging me.